Hi guys, Nicole here. So I have a layout share for you. I had a scrappy weekend with my best friend a few weeks ago, and so I have a lot of layouts to show you. So settle in, it's going to be a long video. I made quite a few. We usually do 3 to 4 days. So I had, so we got there Friday night and Saturday, Sunday, Monday scrapbooked. So got lots done. So I worked with a few different collections over the long weekend, and I'll try to tell you which ones or kind of give you a general idea as I go along. But I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to just get started because, again, I have a lot to show you. So this layout was made from Amy Tangerine's newest collection, and this was a layout about my youngest daughter's first official date with a boy. I don't know how I'm here already, you guys. They grow up way too fast. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so I didn't want to be super intrusive. I didn't take a picture of them. Like I didn't hound them to get a picture, but I caught one just as they were walking away from the car. It was raining, it was through the car window, so it's a very blurred picture, which I'm totally okay with. And I just wanted to document, this big kind of deal. And so I just focused a picture in the middle and then layered behind it. And then I journaled in these little pockets. So Amy Tangerine's collection had these little cute little pockets with journaling cards in them, and so that way it's a little bit more private. People have to pull them out to read them, and so that was just kind of a fun way to do that, and just layered some phrases and stickers and journaling or the cut apart cards, and then did a little cluster up here as well. And I just kind of pulled colors from the photo. So my daughter was wearing kind of this purple burgundy color. He was wearing black, and then you have these kind of goldish colors in there. And so kind of the richer tones in that collection worked out really well for this layout. So I'm sorry guys, it's a little bit dark in here. But my only time to do this video is at night, unfortunately, and so it's a little bit dark in here. Hopefully you guys can see it all okay. But so there's layout one. This is from that same collection. Had a lot of fall kind of themes and colors to that collection, and so I pulled those out. And this was a layout about my oldest daughter, who is in FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America, and basically they do what's called a rake and run, where it's like a service project where they go and rake people's lawns for free. And so I had taken some pictures off the Facebook page they had posted about it and printed those and then documented that. So I cut two floral die cuts apart and then just layered those on the top and then on the bottom, and then used some of the little puffy stickers and the little pocket card again to journal in. And yeah, there's that one. Okay, this one might mess up my my focus here, so hopefully I can get it. So 2-pager, so the only 2-pager I think that I did as far as a full 12 by 24. This was actually documenting our last scrappy weekend together back in July, when Angie actually came out to me, just because my schedule was a tad crazy. I was having a hard time finding a block of time to get away, so she came to me and I could just leave and do what I needed to do when I needed to do it. And so we were able to get a good solid, I think, 3 days together to scrapbook. We rented a little house, and then we actually spent a day at my house and went out to eat and did all the things we normally did, just in a different town. And so that was a lot of fun. So I wanted to document that. Pretty simple, just kind of blocked the photos and just did one strip of paper underneath both, and then did a cluster here and a cluster down here, and then journaled in each place there. And used some of the puffy stickers and die cuts. I kind of pulled out some of the elements of the collection that were more summery, because this was during the summer. So I love collections where you can do that, where you can pull certain elements and the season doesn't, you know, matter a whole lot. So, because you can pull out brighter colors for summer ones or more fall colors. I always appreciate a lot of the American Crafts collections because of that, because they usually have such a variety of color that you can really do a wider array of layouts, which is always good. So this is the Simple Stories I Am, the most recent I Am collection. It's super perfect for teenage girls. Just the themes and the phrases worked really well for just for my daughters. And so this one, I used the background paper. I used a Scripty paper, and then just layered a couple larger pattern papers behind, and then just layered a bunch of these little stickers that say like beautiful, love yourself, believe in yourself, capable and worthy, because it was just really a picture layout just about my youngest daughter. She had taken these really fun photos on vacation, so I kind of took them out of our vacation pack just because those will be another set of pictures, or I don't know, mini album or layouts. But this wasn't really about the vacation, it was just about her, because you know, she's just super into kind of like fashion and how she looks right now. She's at that age. And so there were just a couple of really pretty pictures of her. And so just did kind of not a ton of embellishment, just a card here, and then the title, a couple words there, and then I said a butterfly in each cluster there, and then these stickers along the bottom. This is also from the Amy Tangerine collection, I believe. And here again, I appreciated like the rich colors in this collection, just because these photos have very rich colors. They were actually taken in my second coffee shop, the one that we just opened. We have a lot of like kind of gold and orange and like burnt orange colors. And so that these particular pictures had those furniture pieces in the pictures, and so I wanted to pull in those oranges and kind of fallish colors into this layout. And so my girls actually were at my shop. We were doing like a video interview and then some photos, a photo shoot and an audio or a video shoot for like a professional video thing. And so I volunteered them to be in the video, and so they took some amazing photos for me that day as well. Not for me, but for them. But then they shared them with me, and so these are just a couple of those pictures of my daughters participating in that. And so I just really love these pictures, and so I wanted to document those. Excuse me. And so I just did a simple, just kind of a straight down with a vertical with 3 different patterns, and then just did the photos, and then did some journaling down here and some embellishment there, and this one little sticker at the top there. Pretty simple layout there, just because the pictures I think are so pretty. Okay, and then I worked with Maggie Holmes's newest collection as well throughout the weekend. And so this layout was actually, there are 2 photos I actually screenshotted from Facebook. And my oldest daughter was picked to be an all-state choir. And unfortunately, they aren't going to be able to do the actual experience. It's going to be virtual. I'm hoping that next year, because they can only do it as a junior or senior. And so I'm praying that next year, as a senior, she'll get the full experience. But the school Facebook page posted about her being selected. And so I just took those photos and printed them. And just journaled about that. And so, of course, I always love Maggie Holmes music paper. That worked out perfectly. And I just layered a bunch of the really beautiful florals, and just love how this one turned out. It's just pretty. You know, Maggie Holmes collections are just pretty. And so it just worked out really perfect for this story. And so not a ton of embellishing. I just did some layering of some florals there, a couple butterflies, and this pin here. Or whatever you call that, this little, I don't know what you call it, like a clip, or it's like a bobby pin or whatever with a sticker on top. So, and then just journal down here. So, kind of gives some nice dimension there. When I have pages that have lots of layers, because I usually do a lot of layers, one trick that I do, I've talked about this before, is so that it doesn't look super flat, is I will just take this and do that at the edges of each layer. And it just gives this layout a little bit of dimension. And it kind of flattens a little bit when you put it into the album, but it does just provide a little bit of shadow, so it looks like there's more dimension to the page. Whereas if it's just all flat, then the only dimension you're putting on there is whatever you're putting on top of that. But this allows the entire set of layers to kind of help provide that dimension. So I always love doing that. So this is with, I believe, see now come on. I think because it's dark in here, it's having a hard time staying focused. Come on. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Okay. Okay, so this is, I think, is Paige Evans' most recent collection, and the colors were just perfect for these photos. And then there were some book themed elements and like home themed elements to this collection. And I just always think her collections are so versatile, because it was actually like a lot of the collection, if I'm thinking of the right one, also had kind of a travel theme to it. But there again, there's just such a variety in colors and themes that it makes them so easy to use. And so our book club normally meets, we take turns typically meeting at each other's homes. And so I use the house paper as a background. However, with COVID, we've been recently meeting at my coffee shop, just because then we can be more spread out and that kind of thing. And so we had one month where we were actually all there, which rarely happens, so we had to take a group photo. And so I just took advantage of the library book themed elements of that collection to document that in our book club, because we've been at it for quite a few, I think 10 years now, 11 years. And so it'll be fun, I think, down the road to kind of look back and see our group photos over time. As we've changed, you know, some people have left, new people have come in. You have some people that have always been there from day one, and so it's just kind of fun to see that. And so I love that there was a library card, a card in the embellishment kit, some books, and then some chipboard books as well. So I just used up those elements, and then also use some of like the home themed elements, just because, like I said, we typically meet in each other's homes, and I just really love how that turned out. I love this like kind of calendar paper in the background, because it's always a trick to find a day that works for all of us. So I thought that kind of actually fit the theme perfectly as well. So lots of layering. You can see I did some flat layers, some little stickers, I tried to balance out the really dimensional pieces. So I try to do that in groups of 3 and to keep that balanced out. Use these little almost clear camera stickers in these little clusters as well, and some of the washi tape. So lots of fun individual elements to look at, all kind of tucked in that cluster of photos and embellishments there. Okay, then we are back to the Maggie Holmes collection, and this was just a layout about finally getting a hair appointment. I feel like every layout nowadays is like, because of COVID, because of COVID, because of COVID. So it's all good. It's our life right now, correct? Unfortunately. And so I took a selfie with the hair dye in and the mask and everything, because that's obviously part of the story right now. I typically wouldn't be wearing a mask getting my hair done, but these days that's a requirement. And then an after picture. So just one of those things I wanted to document, because it's one of those COVID things that's a little bit different. But just layered, or I just really did, I layered a few different pieces of pattern paper. Is this, you know what, I mixed Maggie Holmes with the Fresh Bouquet, I believe. I think it's a crepe paper collection. So I think I used those two together. So it's kind of a mix of both. But layered some papers, a journaling card there. This really fun bow because, you know, it's a hair layout, so I think a bow works. And I'm a girl, right? So, just one of the acetate things, some florals. These are really pretty gold photo corners. We're in that Fresh Bouquet collection, I believe. Chipboard, and then a couple just like ticket stub thingies underneath there. So I titled it Finally because I was way overdue. I did cut my hair once on my own early on, kind of in the summer, and I couldn't do that again because my hair needed some professional help at that point. So the grays were getting to be too many. So this layout is also using that same collection of supplies. And my daughter was able to have a homecoming this year. We kind of had the whole first quarter, we were pretty open. Thankfully, our area at that point in time had not been hit heavily with COVID yet. And so we were mask free as far as the school was concerned. And they kind of just, I mean, they had limitations in place, but they were trying to do as many things as they possibly could in a safe way. And so they were able to have homecoming, which was awesome. And so these are photos from that night of my daughter and her two best friends. And I just love the colors, worked perfectly, the blues and the greens, and I added in some of like the blush and the peachy tones in there as well. And I just love how that turned out. So it's a busier page than I typically would make. It's got lots of pattern paper and photos, but I love how it turned out. So I used quite a few of these gold word stickers there, as well as some of the florals kind of peeking out there, a couple of the bows, a couple of the clips. So just had some fun with the embellishments, and the blues and the greens were just perfect. Like the tone of blue was perfect with her dress. The tone of green was perfect with her dress. It was just a really great combination of colors that really matched the dresses. So that was fun. Also, from that same evening, just some different photos of some different friends, and again, that Maggie Holmes collection. So just did a couple photos here, did a cluster here, and then a cluster up here, and just love how that turned out as well. Try to pull in some of the brighter pinks because of the pinks in her dress, and then black as well. So I can hear my daughter singing. My house is so musical all the time, you guys. Both my girls sing, and sometimes it's off key because they have like their headphones in and they're just singing just to sing. And anyway, so I don't know if you guys can hear that. I love it. I'm gonna miss that so much. Like I try to cherish that, even if I'm kind of ready for peace and quiet. I cherish it because it's just I love it. I'll miss it someday. So anyway, maybe you can't hear it. I don't know. Okay, so this is Paige Evans' new collection, which I always enjoy working with. It's always so versatile. And so these were just some photos of my youngest. We were set up on my bed and we were just getting her school supplies ready to go the night before the first day of school. And my oldest daughter kind of does it on her own now. I have a feeling this is probably the last year that she's gonna probably want my help, because I just love the process of like marking all their folders and notebooks and all that. So we were doing that, and I just took a couple photos to document that preparation process. And so I just did kind of a larger matted background, and then matted the photos, did just one solid, or not solid, but one pattern paper that's red that matches her shirt, and there's little hearts on there, and then just did some embellishing and journaling, and used some of the kind of school themed, like the backpack and the notebook and things like that, to embellish. And then just a little cluster of flags up there just for something. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like I need to have like a dimensional piece up there, but it's all good. Just because I have dimensional pieces here. But super cute. I love that. It's such a fun variety of color, and there was a lot of color in the photos, the purples and the blues and the reds, and so just worked out perfect. And I did play with the 4th of July collection for a little bit. I think Echo Park probably. A lot of these products, guys, were products I just showed you in my last video, my haul video. I typically will take newer product to work with because that's fun and that it gets me excited to play. And so this was one of the newer collections I just gotten in the last haul video. So this is a photo of this year's 4th of July. Just layered up some papers on the far right side here and did some embellishing and journaling here, and then a little cluster over here. It's my oldest daughter and some of her friends, and my youngest daughter got in there too. And then my youngest daughter, the 4th of July happens to be her like absolute favorite holiday. I think it's even like better than Christmas for her. She just loves this holiday and looks forward to it every year. And so thankfully our town was able to have most of their things. They made some adjustments, of course, but just thankful that we were able to have a pretty regular, normal 4th of July. And so she had stopped into my shop because our shop is open all day long because there's a ton of things going on in town. And so she stopped in to see me, and I took some pictures of her. She like schedules her day, like she just loves this day so much. And so I've documented that before, but I documented it again about how she still loves this holiday. I just layered some pattern papers, and then I kind of just put in some stickers in there with a little card, some glittery enamel dots, and then did just a little sticker here and then a little cluster up here with a banner sticker. There's that. I think this is the last one I think that I made. This one was just a picture of my daughters and a cousin, or their cousin, my niece, watching fireworks like the night before the 4th of July, I think. They were literally like right above our house. They were setting them off right across the street. They were like really awesome fireworks. And so I snapped a quick photo of those three sitting together and just did kind of the main cluster here and a cluster up there. Just kind of a lot of my layouts have that kind of format. So I use some pop dots. I always like to have dimension again, so I use some pop dots. You can see some of these are, I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe not, it's still probably too dark, but just always like to pop a few things up if I don't have a lot of dimensional stickers or like chipboard stickers, because I don't think I had chipboard stickers for this. And so if there's a collection that I'm working with that does not have like chipboard stickers, that's how I'll do it. I'll grab some of the stickers or grab some of the die cuts and I'll pop them up to get that dimension. And then I always keep a whole bunch of bling and twine and things like that, like basic supplies on hand. And so I grabbed some of my bling and I centered some of these fireworks and then put them in some of the clusters. So used up a lot of red and clear bling, which I have so much bling. I seem to buy packs every time I go to Hobby Lobby for some reason. I think for quite a few times I kept forgetting to bring them with me, and so when we typically go to Hobby Lobby the first night that we're there, I would just buy a couple, sets of them. So after years of doing that, I have a lot of bling, and so this is a perfect time to use up a lot of it. So I use up quite a few. Not the only one who does that, right? Buys multiples of something that I already have. Never. Back to the I Am collection. My daughter had excuse me, done her hair up really pretty and gotten dressed up for actually my oldest daughter's prom, which they had in July because they couldn't have it back in the spring. And so we were able to go to the dinner because my husband was the MC for the promenade. Like I love small towns, you guys. So our prom, they actually do like a promenade where they, before the dance starts, they have, where they announce each, because they're small enough, they announce each person and their date. And so kind of a fun deal. And so my husband kind of gets volunteered for those things because he's considered the voice of the Bobcats. So he announces like the home football games and some basketball games and things like that. So he also announces the promenade. And so that's been really fun for him to do with my daughter being at prom the last couple of years. He's really enjoyed that. And so anyway, but before we were able to go to the dinner because he was helping with that. And so she had gotten all dressed up pretty as well. And so I took some photos and scrapbooked that. So again, I did this, I didn't realize I did this twice, but just layered a bunch of these fun word stickers underneath and then journaled underneath that. A little cluster here, the title, and then just use one of the stickers there for the banner stickers. Since it was prom, I thought that was appropriate. There we go. All right. So you guys probably don't care about all my stories, but I like to talk about what they're about. I'm sorry if you guys, this probably makes it really long for you guys. Just a selfie picture of my oldest daughter and her best friend, and so I just printed that off. I wanted to document it. Just did like 3 little strips of pattern papers and then just embellished kind of around the photo and then a little bit over here. So just use lots of enamel dots and brads and florals and little circles, like circular elements. Besties for the title, and again some brads and word stickers. Oops, sorry. And then a little cluster over here. I just love that camera since it was a selfie. So okay. Same collection, I think. It was perfectly had a card that said Teen Life, and also this die cut pieces says Besties, and I take a picture of them after being up until 4 in the morning, sleeping in. But I just love how they were like crunched in on the couch because they don't really care at that age. You know, comfort isn't really something that they care about too much. They just kind of crash where they crash, and I thought it was just a fun picture to take. And so just layered up a bunch of different pattern papers, and I kind of did it where you can only see little bits and pieces of the different patterns, and then used a glassine bag in there just for some different texture, and then just kind of did a cluster here and a cluster up there. I just sprinkled some enamel dots throughout. So it's a great time to use up that little sleep mask, and then the perfume or the hairspray, or yeah, hairspray. It says Rise and Shine, Teen Life, Rise and Shine. I love sleep. So just some perfect, again, this collection is perfect for teenagers. Also perfect for teenagers who love fashion and makeup and all that stuff. Lots of different ephemera pieces and stickers that matched that theme, and so it was perfect for my youngest because she's all about that right now. And so I had taken some pictures of her doing her makeup in my mirror, and so it was perfect because there's like these little makeup die cuts. I think this is Paige Evans. I think I'm back to the Paige Evans, I believe. And so just layered some fun pattern papers. This pattern paper back here has like a bunch of fashion beauty supplies on it, including a caboodle, which, you know, I grew up with a caboodle. But use like the lips and the lipsticks here, and then just put fab, looking good, you're beautiful. And then I just took one picture and I sized it down and then did that. So there's actually a little picture up in this cluster as well. So that's a little bit more of a close-up. So that was a fun layout to do. I just used one of the pattern, actually I think I used one of the pattern papers. Maybe this is I Am. No, this is, no. So I had multiple, it's actually, so I'm pretty sure that this is Paige Evans. I could be wrong. Yeah, so this is actually a cut apart sheet, but I think I had multiples of it because I'd gotten too many extras. And so I just used it as a mat, and I just love how you see all these different colors as the outline. And normally what I would do is I would cut out, if I was covering up most of the layout, I would cut out a section from the middle to save it, but I knew I wouldn't be using the cactus paper, so I didn't worry about it. Having focus issues again. Okay. Let's see if we can get it back here. So, same collection. And these pictures are just about her love for like makeup and fake nails and all that stuff right now. And so I just layered some fun papers again, and like this eyelash eyelash paper, and then this paper had like the nail polish and all the things. So sassy was perfect, teen life, so cute. And then just did some embellishing, and then I journaled on the side there. And like this is like, my kids text that to me all the time. Yes. It's like they just really, the verbiage and like just the lingo that they have in this collection really work perfect. They're kind of true to how kids talk nowadays. And so it was really easy to use. I think those are the I Am collection. I'm pretty sure that those last two were the I Am collection. Yeah. This is as well. So this is a picture of my oldest daughter with two of her friends who were cheering on another friend going to state cross country. And so they do like a little downtown thing where the fire truck kind of leads them out of town and puts the sirens on, and then people in the community can come and wave their well wishes. And so I took a quick photo just because I thought it was a fun picture to have those three together to cheer on their friend, and just layered a bunch of papers. I used the shoes and the water bottle because that fit the theme of what the story was about, and just did some fun embellishing. And here I just folded up the bottom and stapled, and then here I folded down and used a paper clip just for something fun. I think this was based off of a sketch, maybe off of Instagram. I'm not for sure, but I think that was an idea I'd gotten off of someone else to do that. But so there's that one. And this is the Paige Evans collection. This is from the first day of school. Just a picture of, so my girls got ready at a friend's house, so I didn't get my typical photos, and so I made them take photos for me. And so at least I got at least a couple photos from the first day of school. And so this is one of them. And I just well, this was actually from a sketch too. I can't remember which one, if it was a class or Instagram. But I basically just flagged a bunch of different sizes of papers and then just layered them. And then I used some butterflies here and then did a little cluster up there. And then just wrote back to school for the title. Very colorful and fun. It's had this really pretty kind of reddish pink color in it. I matched my daughter's shirt, and then the blues. It just kind of, all the colors were kind of taken care of there. So this worked out well as this page is also from that morning. My daughter's best friend doing her hair. And again, I pulled in like this red color because of her shirt. And here I just did like 2 pattern papers underneath, and then I just kind of embellished in a diagonal way there. So where the fun begins, picture perfect, love this. Use some of the dimensional hearts. Adventure awaits, magical around, beautiful moments, making everyday memories. Okay, and then this Paige Evans collection was perfect for this story because of the kind of the painty, watercolory look to some of the pages. So for this, is it second year in a row or third year in a row? My oldest daughter got to do this. It's called Hastings College Mural Day, which normally takes place at a college, but it was done virtually, so they did it at their school. But they have a team, and then they are given a theme, and they're timed, and they compete with other groups around the state. And so they're given a theme, and they have to create this mural. based on that theme. And so I had some pictures from my daughter and also from the Facebook page of them working, and then their final project. And so I just wanted to document that. So again, this paper like perfect for that because it's very painty feely. And so yeah, did these die cuts there underneath here, and then these fun clips. And then just did a divided page protector to get the rest of the photos in there. And then I just used a card in there just to fill in that one empty spot. And then this layout is about my oldest daughter's. She got her first job at our local library, and I wanted to document that, of course. I went and took a picture of her on her first day, and yeah, so I just did a bunch of pattern papers underneath, and then kind of treated this as a title, because that's what I do. I rarely make my own titles, you guys. I just did a lot of fun little fun embellishing with some chipboard hearts and some enamel dots that were glittery, and then did a cluster here and then some cluster up there, and then I journaled in between the two photos there. There's kind of a look at the clusters. But this happened, love, happy. My mom was a librarian, so it just blesses my heart that my daughter has that same passion. She loves books and she loves this job. So it's very part-time. Obviously she's very busy in school, but it's like perfect schedule-wise for her. So, and then this is from the Amy Tangerine collection, I believe. And so what I did is I kind of pulled out a lot of the bright, I think this is Amy Tan, or maybe this is Paige Evans. I think this is Amy Tangerine. No, I think it's Paige Evans. Looking at the embellishments, I think it's Paige Evans. Yes. So, our local swimming pool closed for good because they're building a new one. And so the night before their last day, they had their last midnight swim, and they did like a luau themed party. And so I went and took some pictures. My youngest went with one of her best friends, and then I just took a picture of everyone there. And because it was kind of a big deal, like my kids grew up in this pool. You know, this pool's been open for many, many years. And so for it was, you know, the last night, or the next day was like the last day it was ever going to be open. So this was kind of celebrating that. And so anyway, just some fun pictures of them at night swimming, and just layered the photos and layered some fun kind of summer themed pattern papers and a floral. And there's some vellum in there, kind of gives a little bit of shine to it. And I also journaled on the vellum, and then a little cluster up here. Happiness is here because her best friend doesn't live in our town anymore, and so they don't get to see each other as often as they used to, and she, you know, misses her a lot. And so the Happiness is Here sticker was perfect because they were together for the day, and I think she spent the night too, so that was also part of the story as well. And then my youngest also got to have her experience of her first dance. Again, before all the COVID kind of stuff kind of blew up here. They had, it's called a Hello Goodbye dance, and they were supposed to have it last spring and didn't have it. So they put it on this fall. And so I took a picture of her all dressed up, ready to go to her first dance. Just layered a bunch of pattern papers that I cut into flat like banners, and layered them up, and then just did some embellishing kind of throughout the page there. And they had this kind of darker purple in this collection, which is perfect because she had purple pants on, and the colors just worked really well with her outfit. And this is that same collection, and this is a follow-up to that one. So these will go next to each other in the scrapbook. And group pictures that the school took of the kids. I think at the end of the dance or whatever, they took a group picture. And so just kind of put those on top of each other over a bunch of layers, and just kind of pick some of the different ephemera pieces that kind of fit, you know, really trendy like leopard shoes and the really cute jacket or shirt and the camera. Just kind of signifies, getting dressed up for your first dance kind of thing. So those worked out really perfect. Just kind of sprinkled some enamel dots everywhere throughout the page. And these were selfies of my daughters on their first day of school. So when I asked them, I was like, hey, take some like first day of school pictures for me, like both of you together with your backpacks and blah, blah, blah. And I got 2 selfies of their faces. And then the only picture I got of them like fully dressed was with their friends, which was fine. But I didn't get like the typical like with your backpack on and like, anyways, it's all good. But I just love these 2 pictures of them, these close-ups of them together that day. They're just growing up so fast. And so, this was actually Cocoa Vanilla. It's my first collection I got from them. I can't think of what it was called. I'm sorry. Beautiful collection. Like, I look forward to getting more of their lines. I actually had more of their lines in my cart, but then I waited so long to check out that I lost them. They sold out. But really happy with the quality and colors. It's just beautiful. So kind of used a multicolored paper as a background, and then calmed it down a little bit with this little tiny polka dot paper, and then just layered on top of that. So, and then journaled on this kind of solid paper here. It's kind of watercolory, it looks solid, and then Shine Bright was the title, and just did some stickers there, a little bit of a cluster here, and then a little cluster up here. Sorry, it gets dark when I get that close. Sorry, I block the light, I think, when I do that. I think we're back to the Amy Tangerine collection now. This was just an everyday photo of my daughter and my husband working on algebra or some kind of math homework, I'm sure. Probably be like pre-calc, probably. Anyway, working on homework. And it was just one of those everyday pictures I just wanted to capture because, time is getting short. She's a junior in high school, and so those are little things that I want to remember. So kind of just did kind of my typical like photo with embellishments and a little cluster on the top. It's, when you find what works for you and you like it, go with it. So that is my go-to design for sure. This, however, is not, and I love how it turned out because I don't do very well typically with pre-printed papers like this, but the colors just were perfect for these homecoming pictures just because it had this really pretty blue in here that matched her dress. And so I'm like, oh, it just kind of speaks kind of more formal because of the floral wreath or whatever kind of look to it. And so what I did was I just kind of settled them into the bottom of it, and then I can try to continue the wreath or whatever, the circle, and I just used a die cut up here to kind of continue that, and then used it as an embellishing area there, and then did some here and down here as well. So this collection had flare in it, which I have not used flare in forever. You can see that. There we go. Okay. So very fun. And this is that same collection, I believe. And just a picture of me and a couple friends that got together for dinner and drinks a few weeks ago, and I wanted to document that. So I did I did basically kind of 3 main patterns here on one side, the type paper, and then I did a couple different patterns here, and then just layered the photos on top, and then just did a bunch of like journaling cards and things kind of coming up here, and then it's also down here, and then brought it all together with some butterflies and some word stickers and enamel dots. And I put the best as the title for that. I think this is my last one. This is my last one, you guys. We made it. So this last one was just it was perfect for the I Am collection because of the themes behind it. But I just had walked into my girls' rooms, and my youngest had all these post-it notes on her bed saying like, Mom loves you, Dad loves you, God loves you, and then each of her friends loves you. And I love that because I want her to know that she's always loved, and I love that she recognizes that. And so I snapped a couple photos of that and wanted to document that. So I took some of the different journaling cards and just cut them down and then cut them into banners. I did a lot of banner work. I noticed that in a lot of my layouts. But I wanted it to kind of come down, kind of like she had them coming down from the bed rail. And so, and I did a little die cut up here and some stickers, and I kind of intertwined some chipboard with the kind of the flatter elements, and then did a cluster here along with the title, and then a little cluster up here. And the Your Love title just seemed to work perfect with what I was documenting. So, be your own kind of beautiful, one of a kind. Here we go. All right, guys, that is it. Should we count? I don't even know how many I made. Let's count. And then you can get one last look at them all. How's that sound? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I won't count that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 pages, which is very typical. I'm usually between 30 and 40. So it depends on how much I like. Sometimes that first night I'm not quite in the mode. Like I have to kind of get things out and organized. So it depends on how quickly I get moving that first day. But such a fun weekend, and we're looking forward to another one here shortly. And so hopefully I'll have another layout share for you soon, because we usually try to fit one in at the end of the year, like usually over Christmas break or over sometimes the last couple of years we've been together for New Year's Eve. That happened to be a good weekend just because my shops are closed or whatever, and so we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping we'll get one scheduled here. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the layouts that I made before I put them away, and I have kind of a pile going that needs to be put away. It's a project, and so I will hopefully maybe do that tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you're all doing well and staying healthy through these crazy times. Like I said, it's interesting. It almost seems like 3/4 of the layouts have some kind of COVID story or aspect to them, and that's just because that's what our life is right now, right, for all of us. And so hopefully you're all doing well and taking care of yourself and staying healthy, and hopefully you're getting some scrapbooking done despite all the craziness going on. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Thanks guys. Bye-bye.